Honesty time. I can be a totally overbearing parent. Both of my boys are adopted and they both have unique learning needs. Both are diagnosed with ADHD, even though it completely manifests differently in both of them, of course, couldn't be the same. Our oldest has the inattentive type, so really hard to focus and retain information, which has been hard with schooling. And then our youngest is a little hurricane and has the hyperactive one with coupled with ODD, oppositional defiance disorder, makes parenting and educating him fun and challenging to say the least. However, despite their challenging, rocky, and somewhat traumatic past after working themselves through the foster care system, they have amazing personalities. Their default emotion always is joy and laughter and pure happiness. Now, they have their moments, as do their dads, but they have this zest for life that should be totally admired. It's pretty cool. As parents and dads of boys who have a past and multiple needs, we are always super worried about the stigmas that come with those, also being raised by two dads, which is interesting for them, especially in the place where we live. There's not a lot of us out here. So we are like super hyper conscious of their backgrounds and we advocate for them, especially in school, pretty heavily. They both have IEPs, which give us a pathway to open communications with the school. And we are truly doing everything we should be as parents when it comes to having kids that have needs. But what I'm realizing is we're the ones that can be stigmatizing them at times. It's tricky. We doubt ourselves so much and we overthink and resort to doing too much, which leads to frustration, which leads to adding kind of like this toxic energy to our interactions with our kids. That is my cycle primarily as the primary caregiver. I overworry and then I overparent, which leads up to a bubbling up of frustration. I really want my boys to do good. I want them to be one of those success stories from the foster care system, but that type of pressure isn't really fair to them at this point. Homeschool and quarantine and distance learning has really brought that to a head. My oldest hovers between 1 and 2 grade levels behind academically, and with the upcoming and quite terrifying middle school transition happening next year, I was totally convinced that I could close the gap. I could use this one-on-one instruction time and teaching environment to really challenge him to close that gap and make some gains. My youngest is doing well in school and has more behavioral challenges when he's at school, especially this year. He's gotten himself into a lot of trouble for a second grader to the point where when the school closure came down, we were almost kind of happy because it would stop the madness and slow his roll a little bit because he was on a train to trouble. So, with both of them, especially my oldest, I pushed, I planned, I pushed some more, and I pretty much literally had like a breakdown a few weeks ago. But I also had a breakthrough, which I realized that my child's education at home is not about academics. We'll get the distance learning done, we'll meet the requirements, but our education is bigger than that. It's about teaching them independence. It's about teaching them problem solving skills and resiliency. It's about teaching them self love and self awareness. I don't want them moving on after high school remembering every grade or project that we struggled through. I want them to leave our house knowing they were loved, which is so important for them, especially kids who come from where they come from. I've learned that being a lawnmower parent will do them no good. Like mowing down a path for them and trying to control every variable is gonna do them no good either. Teaching them to own their path and cherish the highs and learn from the lows is our job here in this house as parents. Yes, we have to guide them, but I want to teach them through modeling. through showing them through my life and my passions what a meaning and purposeful life looks like. I can't do top down, I can't push it on them. But yes, they need us. All kids need their parents, but they're also humans and they have their own personalities and capabilities and innate abilities. They are unique and we can't force them to reflect our visions for what we want for them. They just need to be trusted. They need to be encouraged. They need us to be there to celebrate their success and comfort them when they do have failures, which are going to happen. This is what quarantine and homeschooling has taught me. I simply outline their day now and we look at what they have to do. I tell them what the expectations are, and then I just have to let them go. Of course, I'm there in the room or nearby to help them if they have questions or specific questions, but I'm trusting that they'll get it done and get it done to the best of their abilities. It takes so much pressure off of them. And of course, I immediately saw them take more ownership of their learning day. They had a few days where they were on their own and it took forever, but they learned quickly that the quicker they get organized and get started, it moves a lot quicker for them and they get their work done. I know many parents already know this, um, the more enlightened ones, but I struggled in this area. It's not my job to put my wants and desires for, my interest on them. Those were reflections of my needs and not theirs. It's really about just simply getting out of their way. There will still be tough days ahead. Quarantine and homeschooling is hard, especially like Fridays. I'm just so over it. But I'm learning the best thing I can do right now is to just teach them and to just keep growing and learning myself, as a person and a parent. So good luck out there. These are just my new blogging format. Am I just like kind of putting it out there and being honest and talking about how I feel about things going on? And I appreciate anybody who begins to watch these videos and kind of engages with this type of talk. So good luck out there. It's a Wednesday. We're halfway through another week. And see you later.